I want to talk to you about my friend Charlie Crawford. He's a 10-time NFR qualifier.
Charlie Crawford, time to just shake it out and win. Got it on him fast. Set
there
up.
We are.
Here's a day
nice
money
run.
lead. You betcha 3-8.
That's an absolute perfect run. Timing was perfect from the time the first swing is up. He's got the control. Charlie made it happen by being timed up with his horse with the steer, and being able to not just rope, but to pick that steer's head up without changing the momentum for the heeler at all.
We know his beautiful wife, Jackie, all three of their beautiful children, the founder of the Liberty and Loyalty Foundation, which this year will exceed $1 million raised for military and first responders. I've said it 1,000 times. Charlie, it's time to rope, nod and ride, whip and spur. I want to welcome you to the Charlie Crawford Podcast. Let's ride.
Up and down the pin. This one was confusing for me growing up because I would hear it explained in so many different ways that I was so dang confused that I didn't know really whether I was going up or down. I was literally that confused. And my dad, he heeled. And so he would always explain it, go back up there to the catch pen, grab your rope, come back down here and turn me another steer. And our arena went uphill from the head box towards the catch pen. And so that was kind of how we explained up and down. Well, then as I start talking to all the rest of these guys and they're saying, come back up the pin, well, I'm going the wrong dang way. And because of, and then you hear people explain it all the time, whether you're listening to X Factor or roping.com or following these guys on social media, everyone's talking about which direction they're trying to go once they catch the steer to handle the steer. And man, the amount of confusion that I would have to be able to understand which way was up or down. In my opinion, this is what simplified things for me, because you need to know which direction you're going as you're going across the pin. So when you're following these guys and you're talking about the handles that they're giving, you need to know what direction you're going. And so if I'm sitting in the head box and I'm looking towards the catch pin, the strip and shoot, or the D-rig, whatever you want to call it, at the back end where you take your head ropes off. If I'm in the head box facing that direction, I put it on a measurement. And so I would go in a diagram of 0 degrees as I'm looking from the head box to the catch pin. And so I would go from 0 degrees, and then to the left, I would go 45 degrees. And then to the left, and to come back up would be 90 degrees, and then 135, and then 180 degrees would be right back where I'm sitting in the head box. And so when I'm able to use those degrees, to me, that helps me a little bit of knowing which way is going up. And so if I'm sitting in the head box, the steer at a World Series roping has a 22-foot head start. And so once I nod my head, that steer has a head start, and I'm headed toward the catch pin, and I'm chasing the steer down. And then once I get the steer caught, then it's important to know what direction I'm going across the pin, and what people are calling it when they say back up the pin. When we tell the kids to go get the steers and bring them back up, they're saying go and get the steers behind the catch pin, behind the strip and shoot, and bring the steers back up towards the roping chute so we can rope them again. And so as that steer has a head start and I nod my head, I'm chasing the steer down. And as I come back where I came from, that's back up the pin. So that way when guys are talking about how they're handling cattle or what they're talking about as they're framing their horse in the heel side, and they're, as they're going down the pin, where they're wanting to be located toward the steer. And then when the steer getting turned, when they're talking about what direction they're coming back up the pin, that way at least you have an idea of what they're talking about as they're going back across the pin to be able to give the best handle for the heeler to be able to know where that spot is that he can heel the steers.